Hello, winners. It's Michael Rice, aka Mr. Today You Win because today you live. And this is episode 8 of the Personal Growth and Success series. And listen up, when I tell you I don't get people that I see on Instagram, these people that I know from my backyard. I have my brother, Jonathan Rice, and his wife, Deja Rice. Round of applause to the Rice's Enterprise. Do you believe in self-improvement? Do you believe in mentorship and accountability? It's amazing what we can do when we all come together and grow together. So the Rices, how are you all?
We're well.
We're good.
Hello,
How are you?
Let's get it. Discover
How
greatness.
are you?
I'm good. So just before we get into the relationship portion, because I said this is the relationship edition, just give people kind of your individual short stories and background.
I'll go first. So, hi everybody. Once again, I'm Deja M. Rice, and I am originally from Spring Valley, New York. Throughout my upbringing, I moved around a little bit, a lot, but through everywhere that I've had the opportunity to reside, the one thing that has always been a constant for me is the performing arts. I've always loved singing. I've always loved performing, and then eventually, when I was around 18, I started to fall in love with acting. And so I went to North Carolina Central University for my Bachelor of Art in Theater Education and Performance. And that is also where I met my husband, Jonathan Rice. He wasn't in school with me, but that's where we met. And so now I am in my final semester obtaining my Master of Fine Art in Theater with a concentration in acting. And that's my story in a nutshell.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm
John.
Jonathan. I am from Henderson, North Carolina. I'm the oldest of three. Michael is the baby. And again, our parents always taught us to follow our dreams, and that's what I did. Since college, writing plays, traveling, touring with choirs, and going overseas. Yeah, music has been my life. And then also I met my wife, doing music, doing theater, doing the things that we are passionate about. And together we have purposed, come together, and we have the Righteous Enterprise, which what embodies the multifaceted thing.
The Righteous Enterprise is an umbrella company that that encompasses our marriage, art, and ministry. The both of us.
The both of us. Yeah.
So that's awesome. And being that you all had separate dreams, what was the hurdles in bringing those dreams together as one?
Together. Communication.
Yeah.
I think in any partnership, communication is something that you have to learn. Because just like in a romantic relationship, you have to learn each other's love language. When you're in business together, you have to learn each other's work language.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things that has been a hurdle in the past for us. But every day I always quote this from Ava DuVernay, every day we put our attention on our intention, and we make sure that those areas of growth and those areas of improvement that we have in our work relationship, we give special attention to those areas to make sure that they don't become stumbling blocks in our progression as business partners.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you have anything you want to add to that, John?
Nope.
That was awesome. And I often say this year's goal for people is the chief aim is peace of mind, and along with that is happiness and support. So just having that, what does it mean to now have somebody that's going to support you no matter what?
That's the foundation. I think that's the anchor when you find when God put like-minded people together, and you are clear about your purpose and what He has called you to do. I think that is leverage to push each other. That is leverage to support. We are each other's number one fans. You know what I'm saying?
That's big.
If she's
That's
posting, I am saying congratulations. If she's doing something, I'm the tech person. If I'm doing something, she's the tech lady. So it's about support. It looks Man, support looks like in so many ways that you can, what I want to say, you can recognize or identify support when it comes to a partnership. It's on many different levels. You know what I mean? In the celebratory stage and in behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and I also look at it as his vision is my vision. His assignment is a priority to me.
Right.
Y'all throwing bars.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he is dreaming about, what he is trying to manifest in any season. As his wife, as his number one fan, as his partner, I'm there making sure that he is not only set up for success, but making sure that he has everything he needs to see it through.
Right, vice versa.
There's no cap. There is no limit to where we will go to make sure that each other succeeds, because his success is my success.
Right.
No competition. We only complement each other.
Bars. So speaking of that, I want you all to speak, because you're fairly young in marriage. Kind of just speak to couples that's gonna watch this, that's kind of in that, stage 1 and 2 years of marriage. What are some keys and some methods that have worked for you all?
I would say one of the first things you want to do is establish what your roles are going to be. Start to not only identify, but embrace each other's strengths early on in the marriage. Because that's going to help you in a lot of different areas. It's going to help you prevent burnout, especially for my ladies, because we are kind of raised and brought up to think that we're supposed to handle everything that's not about money and that's not about maintenance, hardcore maintenance. But that's not true. Learn what each other's strengths are and begin to embrace them early, so that you can prevent from trying to fill a role that you have not been given the hardware to fulfill.
Right.
God has not designed every woman the same. God has not designed every man the same. And not only is it going to prevent burnout, but it's also going to prevent competition, especially when you're working in business together like Jonathan and me. One of the things that helps us to, stand strong for each other and support each other instead of competing with each other is making sure that we embrace each other's strengths and also leverage each other's strengths.
Right.
So there's some areas of growth that I had when we first got together that are now strengths of mine, because I look to Jonathan to help me develop in that area.
Right.
But it really takes humility, and it takes a sense of teamwork to be able to embrace that in another person so that you can benefit from it.
Right. Another thing is we also highly encourage counseling. You're going to need it. I mean, those of you who are out there, we encourage premarital counseling, present counseling, post. I mean, we encourage it all, because you need people that are, number one, that are for you and understand the purpose of marriage. You need people that are going to be around you, that's going to give you tools and equip you to handle the hard stuff that comes in marriage. And in those first 2 years, I mean, we're going on 4 this year. So in those first 2 years, there's going to be a lot of, pull. And so you're going to have to figure out, do I want to be right, or do I want to have peace in my home, or do I want to have peace in my marriage? And so somebody going to have to bend, but at the same time, somebody going to have to compromise. And it's not always going to be the woman. It's not always going to be the man. When you are mature enough, you'll know, okay, it's my season to be submissive to this process, or be submissive to this assignment, or be submissive to this decision. You know what I mean? You just gotta.
Yeah. You'll experience a lot of peace in your home when you learn when to speak up and you learn when to shut up.
That's good.
You will experience so much peace when you just learn when to hold and when to fold.
And John,
it took time. It took seasoned people who are married to help us understand these particular concepts.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Mike?
No, and you had brought up counseling and things like that, and we all, being that we were raised in the church, and both of y'all. So some people say we know God is there, but help people to understand that even though you're under that Christian umbrella, that it's still okay to get help. Like, walk us through that.
Oh, absolutely. Now we also encourage, well, listen, have the Lord lead you, but of course, people who are not biased, we had believers, people who were, people who were believers of the faith, but they were skilled in the natural as well as the spiritual, and they were able to couple these two things together. You know what I mean? And so we definitely advise you. Of course, you have to go to where you're led. But yeah, balance is key. We're not even saying that you have to go to someone who is all spiritual, but you definitely want to, if you're going to do that, I would say do both. You know what I mean? Get you someone who just has that natural sense of understanding. And then, of course, people that you trust that are skilled in, psychology and helping you understand your background. Because the thing about it is, whether we know it or not, your background, it makes up, who you are. And that comes in the marriage.
Yeah.
Your makeup, it comes in the marriage. And so you got to be very careful, or it comes in a relationship. And so you realize, you wonder, why I act like that, or why I do this? Well, hey, your mama act like that, your daddy act like that. It came from somewhere. And we have to now unpeel those things and work on those things. You know what I mean? They just say all the time, okay, yeah, like your daddy right there. You know what I mean? So it is real, and you have to know how to adjust those things. All right.
That was good. And so we just to pivot a little bit. So I want to talk about you all's enterprise. Deja, you first. Let's talk about give the people some exciting news or spiel about Daddy's Girl. Let's walk us through that.
Yes, absolutely. So I am the founder and artistic director of the Daddy's Girl movement. Woo! It is a movement that is dedicated to the reconciliation, restoration, and reestablishment of the children of God back unto himself. And right now, what do we have out? We have my book, Daddy's Girl, From Heartbreak to Redemption, which is an autobiographical story about my journey from heartbreak to redemption with my natural father. And then also we have available on Amazon Prime Video, Daddy's Girls Re-Identified, the documentary that just documents the journeys, the spiritual journeys of 6 different women, including myself. And they tell their testimony of heartbreak to redemption and how they found healing and love and redemption through Jesus Christ. And then what else do we have? We have the Daddy's Girls Re-Identified screening tour. And we're doing that virtually right now. So if you are interested in hosting the Daddy's Girls Re-Identified virtual screening tour for your women's organization or ministry, you can just email us at daddysgirltour@gmail.com. That's daddysgirltour@gmail.com. And one of our team reps, they will get back in touch with you and we will make this thing happen. That's what we got going on. And we're working on some other stuff. We always creating, always producing, but way too early in the creative stages to talk about those things now. But just know we got some good stuff coming for y'all.
Hey, people, when I tell you the Rices be working, look, every other day you're going to see something posted. So they really got a plan. And before I go get to John's single, y'all did have some of y'all released together during Christmas or Thanksgiving. So talk about that.
Something from the heart. Yeah. Something from the heart. We released it. We love the holidays, not only Christmas, but Thanksgiving. And family is one of our values, our pillars that we stand on as well. And so we wanted to put something out that celebrated family, that celebrated the holidays, that celebrated unity and joy, peace, happiness, and happiness. And that's what Something from the Heart is. It is just a love song to the family. You know what I mean? It's something from my heart to yours, and it's on iTunes still now. You can listen to it now. Yeah. It fits all seasons. Well, we just finished coming out of Valentine's, but hey, if you want to listen to it at Valentine's, you could have. But it's just one of our precious treasures that we have released to the world.
Absolutely.
Nice. And before I get to your single, John, I did have a request. So Tristan asked, could y'all sing? So I don't know if y'all got something. He said, John Deja gonna sing. I said, I gotta ask him. So that we can do that later on. We can do that later on before you all get off. But John, let's talk about it. Single, man. You have shared it with the world, man. Something that was put on your heart. It was released. How special that it be released on your birthday, man? Just talk about it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we had an idea, and we really. I mean, we didn't know how it was gonna work, but the birthday. I said like this: I used something to birth out in the world the day that God birthed me,
Bar.
and because of that, I think it just doubled what it was supposed to do. You know what I mean? Yes, on the marketing side, you have it wild because people are already going to come to where you are to wish you well, and then they get there and it's like boom, you have this thing. But it wasn't that easy. It was easy to post it on that day, but it wasn't easy to get to that. You know what I mean? I mean, so it's easy to celebrate, but we went through, man. We went through some hardships. Thought about giving up at once. You know, people failed me. You know, but we talk about perseverance and being sure about who we are, knowing that we having confidence to know that we couldn't give up even though we wanted to, and finding that strength. And that's exactly what we did because I mean, I know your platform is all about how we pursue and how we, find strength to keep going and how we discover. And so, sometimes you may want to give up, but make this single, Sing Over Us being released is just a sign that I continue to move forward and eat despite hardship, despite what I didn't have, no major backing but us. You know what I mean? We did it. God, with the help of God, He made it so that the single landed into the right hands and pursued it this way. And so now we have something to offer the world. Not only a message that God sings over us, from Zephaniah 3:17. God won't rebuke us, but in His love, He will rejoice over us. And I think that we present it to the world in excellence. It's good quality. Of course, the message there, the anointing of God is there, but we present it to the world in good quality. It's ready for radio play, which it has been played on 2 stations, voted hit of the week. Artist spotlight, and we have some stuff that's still coming. And so I'm just grateful. I believe I was in an interview the other day, and somebody asked me, how do I define success? And I said, I define success based on my previous experience, current experience, is actually making it through the process. That is what success looks like to me. Actually starting something and finishing it. And I have read this book called Finish. It's called Giving Yourself the Gift of Done. So if you're
That's a plug.
on this live and you're listening, check out that book. It's by John Acuff. It's called Finish. That's the name of the book, Finish. And the subtitle is Give Yourself the Gift of Done. And I think I've read that book 3 times, and it really has, every time I read it, it gives me energy to continue to push through. And so that's exactly what we have done. That's also on iTunes. You can get it. Somebody texted me today and said, this is a bump. And I need y'all to tell the people that it is a bump. You know what I mean? It's going to get you excited. It's going to share a message, and it's also a fun song. So, yeah, we're excited about that.
That's awesome. And I often say the disinterest of others stops them. It doesn't stop you. It just stops them from partaking into the spoils of the battle. So the fact that you was able to persevere, because you had people, like you said, had people that failed you. You might have told this person, but you had Deja, and then now you have the fruit of that. So that, I think that's awesome. So what can you give people? You all been entrepreneurs. And you talked about, but what can you just give them? Like you talked about the book, but what else can you say if somebody has a dream, they have an aspiration, they may be an influencer? What kind of other nuggets can you give them?
Yeah. So one thing that I always say is that don't put so much focus on the people that when the people come, you have nothing to show them.
Preparation.
A lot of people are sitting in their windowsills looking for the people to come, and they are not doing the consistent work that's going to make the people stay when they get there. So keep your eyes on your assignment. Whatever it is that God has given you to do in this season, pay more attention to the assignment so that when the right people show up, you will actually have something to present to them. Here's another thing I always say, and then I'm going to hand it over to Jonathan, is don't be so busy presenting yourself that you forget to be. So I don't have to, be anxious about presenting myself as an artist on Facebook I am an artist.
Yeah.
So, automatically, instinctively, intuitively, that is what I'm going to present when I present myself, because that's who I am.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend so much time on wondering and worrying about how people see you when you just are who you are.
Yeah.
And you are confident in who you are. So those are the two big nuggets that I would give people. Focus more on your assignment than you do the people. And then don't focus so much on presenting yourself as you do just being who you are.
That's good. Yes, I have something to say, but I'm going to frame my words so that it won't be bad. But as a growing entrepreneur, I'm going to say, learn everything that you can yourself. How about that? Learn. Listen, research. Learn. We're living in a time now where people are buying studio equipment to put in their house. They're learning how to do Photoshop or Adobe Creative. They're learning how to just do. Before you pay anyone, learn how to do things yourself on this level. Because the stuff that you will probably get people to do, you probably can do it yourself. And that's what we've learned. Yeah. We have learned a lot of stuff that we're doing now. We are doing it ourselves. Yeah. And when the time for you to come to have a team, God will send you a team. You will know. Because a lot of people, they also want that because they see everybody, they have this, they have that. And yeah, those things will come. But it's always like when I'm exercising and I'm doing one particular exercise, and I can tell when it's time for my body to do something else. My body is saying, okay, you need to do something else. Well, you need to assess your system. And your system will tell you need to do something else. Yeah. But until it tells you to do something else, do it yourself.
That's good. Don't be focused on what other people are doing in their system. Yeah. You assess your own system, and your system will tell you when you need to shift.
It's called a SWOT analysis.
That's good.
Yeah. I done heard system 3.
Your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Okay. However, but in this setting, we're just saying assess your system, and your system will tell you when it's time to adjust.
Yeah, because how many people are spending thousands of dollars and really trying to live beyond their means and do things that are outside of their level best just because they saw this person doing this or they saw this person doing that. But really, it's not about doing what everybody else is doing. It's about doing your level best. And that's one thing I can say about me and Jonathan is that we are always going to do our level best. We're just and so it's excellent. Right. By our standards, by the standards of God, and by the standards of our audience, because we are doing our level best. And then we assess our system. I love that language. We assess our system, and our system tells us, okay, you want another level now. It's time to pivot. It's time to shift. And so I love that. I love that in me. That's amazing.
Bars off the dome. I want to say one more thing, Michael, too.
Oh, yeah.
It just left me. Oh, yeah. And so we are, we're believers. We believe in the Lord. And so anywhere, but favor is given to all men. And so you do not, also you want to leave room for the favor of God. You know what I mean? God will send people to help you in those areas where you need help. Okay, but you just have to make room for that. And don't feel like that you have to do it by yourself. There are people, you take those people that you've been, that have been granted to you, and you start getting people. They may not be the best, or but you train, you do, but that comes along. I just want people to know that you can still be excellent on your level. You don't have to be excellent, or a Potter's house excellent. You know what I mean? Or this big grand. No, you can be excellent on your level, and that's right. And when you start accepting that, I believe you will begin to grow. You'll begin to grow because. It's not, I like what our apostle says, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You know what I mean? So take your time and just, hey, you can do it.
That's good. And John talked about learning. There's a book, you talked about learning yourself. There's a book called Deep Work. And they said 2 things are going to happen in the near future that, people are going to be learning. They're going to be able to learn difficult technologies at a rapid pace. And number two is you're going to be able to be like rock stars, and you have to be rock stars in your career or niche. So those are the two things that are going to take people to another level. So, being able to work with like great technology and be able to learn fast, and then also being rock stars in your niche or career. So you all are rock stars. You're doing great. Some great things in your community, and just just bringing your expertise to the marketplace. So I think that's awesome. So what's next, and what do you want people to take away from this interview?
What's next for me? We'll continue to, well, for the Rights Enterprise, we're going to continue working the business and the purpose that God has given us. And so, hey, you'll like you said, we post, something's going to happen, okay, with the Rights Enterprise. But with me, you'll continue to see Song of the Lord on social media. You'll begin to hear it on the radio. Song of the Lord, sing over us. You'll hear it on the radio. We're working on some things that we can put out that people can enjoy virtually, they'll be able to see. So we're working on that. Just continue to, pray for us that we'll, God will give us strategy to make sure that this song or our ministry is just being reached across the nation.
Yeah, absolutely. If you are a woman, don't hesitate to connect with me on Facebook, Daddy's Girl Facebook. You can join.
It'll be at the bottom of the screen.
Private group there. Just enjoy our daily affirmations, our daily faith lifts, and then every once in a while we have some lives that we do where we just uplift each other and build each other up. It's just sisterhood all the time, positive vibes all the time. So join us there. And if you're a guy or a woman, you can follow us on Instagram, Daddy's Girl IG. You can also follow me at Deja M. Rice on IG, and you can follow Jonathan
at Jonathan M. Rice on IG. And you also can go to the website www.jonathanricemusic.com.
Absolutely.
Right. And speaking of vision, where do you see you all as marriage and just business in the next 3 to 5 years?
Let me go first.
Yeah.
In the next 3 to 5 years, I see the Rices working in a more a higher level of ministry. I see us starting to build a foundation for our performing arts center that we want one day. I see Daddy's Girl getting off of online and getting out into the streets, being able to be tangible and touch the people. What do you see for your?
I echo exactly what you said. Hopefully I would have had a live recording album out. Being able to minister to praise teams and Levites and psalmists. Of course, again, I echo about the foundation of the Rice Enterprise Art Center. That's what we desire. The sky's the limit, and the future is bright for not only the Rice Enterprise, but the Rices.
You see a baby?
Yeah, baby, home on the
or
ship,
two.
You know what I mean? And so I
got a nephew.
A revelation, and we have a revelation about our future. And
yes, we do.
Per yesterday, we're not only dreamers, but we're now interpreters.
Yes,
that's good. That's always a big question. That's always a good thing for me, because you don't start where you are, you start from where you want to be. So I think that's big. So
you can only go as far as your revelation. That's so true.
Exactly. Mike. So y'all have a song for us? Just a little snippet or something.
Well, you can sing
just a little
song.
What?
Just a little have a talk with Jesus, something like that.
Breakthrough comes with it. When your song comes, healing comes with it. We are free by the song of the Lord. We want the song of the Lord.
Hey, say glad.
Everywhere you get music. Everywhere you get music. Go get it. Sing over us.
Yeah, we're going to make sure we have everything. Did y'all just say the website again? We're going to have everything at the bottom of the screen. So the website.
Yes. So the website for the Rices is www.thericesenterprises.com. My website is www.dejamrice.com.
And mine is www.jonathanricemusic.com. And I do believe you can all go to the Rice Enterprises to see all of this. Okay?
Yes, you can go to the ricesenterprises.com and you will get access to everything that you need concerning the Rices. But if you just want to go directly to Jonathan Rice, that's his website. If you want to go directly to Deja, that's my website.
So still 2 into 1. It's still a connection. So sister and brother, thank y'all so much. It's been a pleasure. And you'll be able to see this 5 years in there and say, look, whatever we spoke on Michael Rice's podcast, hey, look, it came to pass. So that's why I'm doing this, about just getting people that I know that's already been successful. That's why we call it personal growth and success, telling your personal story, but also telling your stories of success. And my mom says, I remember her telling us, if you can, let's look back on 3 things that happened in your year, and that you completed, you can really say this, it's been a great and good year. So I'm excited for you all. I'm excited for what the Rices are going to do. And, you know, we love y'all. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, the Rices, Jonathan and Deja Rice. Just give them a round of applause. Share, like, comment. And remember, the goals of your future, where God is taking you, will have a different crowd at the finish line. And as always, and it will forever will be, today you win, because today you live. All right.